Hello, my name is Dawn H. Jones. I am Managing Director of Hope Place HR, and our mission is to help you get the HR skills that you need so that you can create thriving workplaces. This week's topic is called Being Flexible in Your Flexible Working Application. But before we get into that topic, I want to ask you a favour. Would you take a second and press the subscribe button below this video to receive regular quality HR content? And thanks in advance for doing that. We really appreciate it. So, back to today's topic, submitting a flexible working application. And I'm going to give you 3 options to consider. And by the way, as I list these options, don't worry about jotting them down. I have compiled them in a download and I'll tell you how to get a copy of the download at the end of this video. So some years ago, I recall taking a phone call from an employee concerned about changes in her personal circumstances, and she wanted to apply to work flexibly. The problem was that she didn't want to be flexible with her manager, and I had to remind her that flexible working was, well, flexible. So I decided to explain that she could give her manager options to demonstrate, flexible working options to demonstrate that she was also thinking about the service and not just her particular set of circumstances. So I said to her, what about giving your manager 3 options? So first of all, think about what your ideal option would be, the absolute best outcome, and write that down. And then secondly, think about your give and take option. If I get this, I'm willing to give up that. And the third option, I can work with this pattern if I absolutely have to. I told her to write down the options down, think about them very carefully before submitting them, because if any of them were agreed, this would eventually be her new working pattern. So she calmed down and said she'd think about the working patterns before proposing her options to her manager. Now, if you need to submit a flexible working application, remember to read the policy and think carefully about the working pattern that you really want. And if possible, write down at least 2 options to demonstrate your flexibility to your manager. Then take a step back and consider whether this working pattern will work for you and the service you work in, and think about whether you need to make any tweaks at this point. Don't rush this. Once you're sure about your working patterns, you can submit your application and then follow the flexible working process. And as I said, don't worry if you didn't get all of these points. Click on the link below and you can download your copy of the options that you may choose to follow. In the meantime, remember to be HR wise, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.